Well, we're in Psalm 24, and I'm loving this psalm. It's an exultant psalm. It's a celebratory psalm. It's a psalm that lifts up God high and looks forward to his eternal reign. And it reminds us in big picture who we are and where we are and what's going on and why we're received by God. So we left off yesterday at the end of verse 6 where David is crying, "This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob Selah." And I hope that yesterday God enlarged your vision and passion and deepened your devotion to state for yourself resolutely in this day of doubt and strange happenings. You'll say, as for me and my house, my generation, I'm going to be a generation that seeks him, that seeks his face. And come along and go with me, family and spouse and church family. Let's seek the Lord together. Let's be a generation that seek him. I hope God enlarges your vision to lean into living audaciously, living courageously, living confidently for his kingdom right now. Even though planet Earth is a messy, broken place, you can live on mission for your king. Why? Well, look at verse 7. This is where we pick up today, and this is kind of part 2 of the psalm. "Lift up your heads, O gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in." Now, this is metaphorical. Is this talking about people lifting up their heads, or is this talking about gates that have heads? Well, that's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked. It could be both, all right? Lifting up your heads is certainly personally applicable. Hey, because we can be received by God through the work of Jesus, by faith, we can receive his righteousness, and we've decided to seek him and seek his face. Even in a broken world, we can lift up our heads, and we can live audaciously and joyfully looking for our blessed hope. But the truest sense of the phrase is open up. It's talking about the gates, opening up to receive the king. So it's really talking about the gates of the city opening up. And it may be lifting up your heads. It may be talking to those that are manning the gates, those guards, those defenders, those protectors that are there to open up the gates, those people. Lift up your heads and open up the gates. Open up these everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. The gates of the city of David, the gates of Jerusalem. But it's not just the city of David. It's not just the city of Jerusalem. Why do we know that? Because David says, "Be lift up, ye everlasting doors." So David is connecting his right now reality, the city of David, which was an ancient primitive city, frankly. It wasn't a well-developed modern marvel, okay? This was an ancient primitive city on a hill in the mountains of the Holy Land. And David is saying to man-made gates, open up. Well, these are not everlasting. In fact, they're not still there right now. But David is joining the temporal sense of the Ark of the Covenant coming into the city with the eternal promise that it represents. And this is so much of what the Old Testament is. It is temporary pictures of eternal realities. Temporary pictures. The sacrificial system, the traditions, the sacrifices, the ceremonies, the cleansings, the rituals, the Old Testament law, the ceremonial law. This was all worshipful pictures of eternal realities. And David is picturing the everlasting. He's talking about these everlasting doors because God has promised him that the king that comes out of his lineage, the Savior, the Redeemer, the Messiah, will be an eternal king. So David, when he says the King of glory, he knows he's talking about perhaps the Ark of the Covenant and the presence, the temporary representative presence of God in the city of David and among the nation of Israel as their God, as the center of life. But he's talking even more so about the eternal kingdom, the someday, the one-day kingdom that would have eternal gates and eternal doors And he's talking about that time when the kingdom of Jesus will be consummated. This is why this is traditionally a good song for the ascension of Jesus, because from the time Jesus ascended, his followers have been waiting for his return. His followers have been waiting for that moment when he would make his rule and reign in Jerusalem, and even further than that, after that millennial reign, when he will make all things new, and all of creation will be made new, including the new Jerusalem, in which will be the everlasting temple and the everlasting throne, the everlasting doors and gates, and which Jesus himself will personally rule and reign forever. So, my friend, you can lift up your head today, and those who you know and love can lift up their heads today. Why? Because there are everlasting doors, there are everlasting gates, there's a promise, there's a king who owns it all, who is preparing a place for you and for me, and we wait. And today, October the 1st, we wait. Today, Friday, we wait. Tomorrow, we wait. But waiting in the Bible is not passive, it's active. So we actively wait. We wait by rejoicing. We wait by worshiping. We wait by celebrating. We wait by loving. We wait by serving. We wait by blessing others who are waiting. We wait by sharing the gospel with those who don't know him so they can one day look forward to being welcomed in to his presence. Oh, we're waiting, and I know waiting can be arduous, but my friend, lift up your head because your Redeemer lives and your waiting has a purpose to it. So happy Friday. Join us this weekend, and if not, I'll see you on Monday.